Let's start. Number 10. Lunar glass and lunar vehicle. Chinese lunar rover discovers mind-blowing translucent glass globules on the moon. This study is led by Dr. Zhiyong Xiao, Planetary Environmental and Astrobiological Research Laboratory, School of Atmospheric Sciences, Sun Yat-sen University, who is a core scientific team member of the first in-situ lunar mission to the moon, Chang'e 4. The team examined images taken by the panorama camera on board the Yutu-2 rover and discovered several translucent spherical and dumbbell-shaped glassy globules. Perching on the surface regolith, the globules are transparent to translucent, and they exhibit a light brownish color. Such centimeter-sized translucent glass globules was not found on the moon before. Number 9. Mojo lens. Mojo Vision details its first smart contact lens. The way we interact with technology is always changing, and some in the industry claim the next big step is the metaverse, a spatial version of the internet that mixes digital content with the real world. But how is one supposed to interact with the metaverse? Today's virtual and augmented reality hardware is clunky and inefficient, but a smart contact lens? That sounds like science fiction, but we may be getting close. A company called Mojo Vision says its smart contact lenses are now a functional prototype with a micro LED display and medical-grade micro batteries. Drew Perkins, the CEO of Mojo Vision, recently announced he was the first to get in on a demonstration of the company's technology. Currently, he's only wearing one lens at a time, and just in 1-hour increments. Mojo Vision's eventual goal is to make two lenses work as a pair, allowing the wearer to see images in 3D, similar to the way VR and AR currently work. Number 8. Wetter. Sustainable Urban Living Concepts Wetter and Gorat LES to help UAE lead in the world race to end NBSP halt climate change. Having wowed the country's leading thinkers, developers, and decision-makers with his templates to enhance the way we live, Dubai is set to be the debut location for the first-ever full-scale versions of the Wetter and Gorat LES patents. Dubai entrepreneur, engineer, and contemporary inventor Dennis Taglan will introduce his sustainable urban lifestyle concepts Wetter and Gorat LES to the United Arab Emirates at WETEX and Dubai Solar Show from 5 to 7 October 2021. Number 7. Compared to this project, the Pixel 7 seems almost ready for mass production. The project you see on the screen is Snap, a concept by Australian artist and designer Nick Kalitaraki's This Single. Cedar reminds one of Volkswagen. Projects about 10 years ago they showed a similar concept, the hovercar. Volkswagen collected and presented on video ideas submitted by China's ordinary residents. The result was a flying two-seater vehicle for the electromagnetic roads of the future, and it's possible that Snap will revolutionize the concept of mono-wheel transportation. We shouldn't forget that there are more than 40 patents in this field, and the idea itself was so popular that it was even parroted in South Park. Unfortunately, the project is posted on Behance without a description of possible characteristics and prospects, so we can only create our own theories around it. Number 6. Hyundai's fuel cell trailer drone is the future of trucking, minus the trucks. Hyundai's autonomous e-bogie concept is a crazy zero-emissions robot that could transform the way we ship overland cargo. Perhaps the most radical hydrogen-powered concepts to come out of the Hyundai Motor Group's Hydrogen Wave Forum this week are this trailer drone concept and the modular fuel cell e-bogie concept that it sits upon. Together, these vehicles imagine that zero-emissions hydrogen fuel cells and autonomous driving tech will combine to change the way we think of trucking and logistics, and it all starts with ditching most of the truck itself. The e-bogie takes its name and inspiration from bogies, the two-axle subframes that a train car rides atop at either end. More shipping robot than truck, The e-bogie is essentially an autonomous electric chassis powered by a hydrogen fuel cell. The e-bogie can pull off impressive maneuvers like turning in place and diagonal crab walk driving thanks to its four-wheel independent steering. Its beefy, low-profile design allows it to carry a small shipping container or other load. Number 5. Personal electric vehicle concept for 2020 by Sergio Luna. Are you still crazy about having long cars like Mercedes or BMW? This new car designer has introduced a car design that can save a lot of energy that is required to keep a car moving. According to the designer, it is a futuristic car for the year 2020. It is based on Segway transport technology, which is a complete solution for traffic as well as contamination problems. The car is powered by 4 electric motors, i.e. 2 in each wheel, and it also has batteries for keeping the energy. Car is really very small in size and runs on 2 wheels only. Number 4. 8 NEOM The Line. The Line, a city of 1 million residents with a length of 170 kilometers that preserves 95% of nature within NEOM, with 0 cars, 0 streets, and 0 carbon emissions. The line will consist of 2 1,600 feet tall buildings that run parallel to each other and go across desert, mountains, and coastal areas. When completed, the $1 trillion building will hold up to 5 million people, and its residents will be able to commute end-to-end in 20 minutes. The line is a project that is a civilizational revolution that puts humans first. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The buildings will run from the Gulf of Aqaba through to a mountain resort and a complex that will house the Saudi government, according to the confidential plans. The line is the first time in 150 years that a major urban development has been designed around people, not roads. Walkability will define life on the line. All essential daily services, such as schools, medical clinics, leisure facilities, as well as green spaces, will be within a 5-minute walk. Number 3. Liquid 3 is an outdoor, urban photobioreactor that uses microalgae to perform photosynthesis and remove the same amount of CO2 as 2 10-year-old trees. Sustainable design that confronts the effects of climate change comes in many forms. From bioreceptive concrete that grows moss on its own to vertical urban forests that redefine what organic architecture could look like, sustainable design is all around us and provides varying degrees of mitigation against the threat of climate change. Designer, University of Belgrade. Designers find a unique challenge in creating sustainable infrastructure in urban areas where green spaces are few and far between. Taking an atypical approach to climate change design, researchers at the University of Belgrade developed Liquid 3, an urban photobioreactor that's used for CO2 fixation and O2 production. Number 2. UN Habitat and partners unveil OceanX Busan, the world's first prototype floating city. New York, April 26, 2022. UN Habitat, the Busan metropolitan city of the Republic of Korea, and OceanX today unveiled at the UN headquarters the design of the world's first prototype sustainable floating city. OceanX Busan aims to provide breakthrough technology for coastal cities facing severe land shortages that are compounded by climatic threats. The challenge is massive. 2 out of every 5 people in the world live within 100 kilometers of the coast, and 90% of megacities worldwide are vulnerable to rising sea levels. Flooding is destroying billions of dollars worth of infrastructure and forcing millions of climate refugees to leave their homes. With nowhere to expand, rapid urban population growth is pushing people closer to the water, driving housing costs to prohibitive levels, and squeezing the poorest families out. Number 1. HSP Magnavim. World's first nuclear-powered airliner? Supersonic concept plane could fly from London to New York at 1,150 miles per hour in 3 hours using a mini-fusion reactor. Designer Oscar Vinyls believes his lightweight aircraft could carry some 500 passengers and reach Mach 1.5. Magnavim, which can be charged extremely quickly, comes from the Latin magna havum, meaning big bird. The amazing aircraft will produce zero carbon emissions thanks to the compact fusion reactor that powers it. Mr. Vinyl says around 10 to 15 years of advancements may be needed in order to build such a flying vessel. These eye-opening designs propose a future of flight that is both supersonic and eco-friendly. The spaceship-like plans for the HSP Magnavim feature a streamlined ship capable of reaching a top speed of Mach 1.5 1,150 miles per hour 852 km/h. The hypersonic plane would cut travel times between New York and London to just 3 hours, more than having the duration of current flights.